Hello everyone and welcome to your guide to popular builds and Heroes of the Storm. My name is Saren Death and today we'll be checking out Sylvanas' Withering Fire build. But before we get into any of that, a quick disclaimer. These guides are not written in stone. They are here to point you in the right direction, but ultimately they are a tool to help you learn the hero on your own. Now we've gotten through that, let's take a look at the Banshee Queen Sylvanas. She is a ranged specialist from the Warcraft universe, and when she isn't sacking Gilneas and leading the Forsaken, she is hunting Arthas and locking down structures in the Nexus. Her kit allows her to be a powerful pusher with decent damage and a heroic that can change a team fight. Before we get into her talent build, let's take a look at her skills. Her trait is called Black Arrow. This stuns structures, minions, and mercenaries for 1 second whenever you hit with a basic attack or ability. Stun structures means that they will not fire on you or your minions, making this a very powerful passive that helps you push down structures, quickly clear waves, and take merc camps without taking a lot of damage. Her Q is called Withering Fire. This is a charge-based ability that fires off an arrow that does moderate damage to the closest enemy, preferring enemy heroes. The enemy targeted will have a purple targeting reticle on them. The ability stores 5 charges, and not only do you gain a charge every 2 seconds, but you can also get 1 charge when a nearby enemy minion or mercenary dies, and 3 charges when a nearby enemy hero dies. This is a great ability that allows you to put out a considerable amount of damage in a very short amount of time. However, you need to have proper positioning to hit the target you want. Sylvanas' W is called Shadow Dagger. This is a 10-second cooldown that throws a shadowy dagger that deals light damage initially to a target, followed by moderate damage over the next 2 seconds. The damage over time effect will spread to nearby enemies, which also spreads your passive. This is a great ability that puts out a decent amount of damage during a team fight and can lock down an entire minion wave. Her E is called Haunting Wave. This is an 11-second cooldown AoE coned skill shot that sends out a wave of banshees that deal moderate damage to all enemies they pass through. You can then reactivate the ability to teleport to the banshee's location. This is not only a damage ability, but it's also an escape that has a slight delay. Just make sure that if you're going to use this as an escape, you plan ahead and send the banshees out before it's too late. Now we've covered her basic abilities, let's take a quick look at her heroics. Her first heroic is called Wailing Arrow. This is a 90-second cooldown AoE skill shot that launches a large arrow that explodes for massive damage and silences enemies for 2.5 seconds. You can reactivate the ability again to detonate the arrow early. This is a very powerful ranged silence that can shut down the enemy's back line, quickly swinging the team fight in your team's favor, and has the added benefit of dealing damage. Her second heroic is called Mind Control. This is a 70-second cooldown, targeted ability that after a 1-second cast time allows you to take control of an enemy hero's movement and prevents them from doing anything else. The channel lasts for 2.5 seconds. This is an interesting ability that allows you to pull someone out of position, giving your team a chance to jump on them, which can really set your team up for a victory. Just remember that this is a channeled ability, so there's a lot of counterplay to this. Now that we've covered her base abilities, let's lock down the talents. At level 1, you will take Overflowing Quiver. This gives you a free Withering Fire shot whenever a nearby minion dies. The free shot automatically fires and it cannot hit enemy heroes, but it has a short cooldown. This allows you to clear waves so much faster and really synergizes well with later talents. At level 4, you have a choice to make that really comes down to personal preference. Your first choice is Withering Barrage. This increases the maximum number of Withering Fire charges by 1, and the Withering Fire charges can be fired 33% faster. This is a great passive that gives you the ability to deal more burst damage both in lane and during team fights. Your other option is Lost Soul. This reduces the cooldown of Shadow Dagger by 1.25 seconds each time it spreads to a hero. This ability really synergizes well with a later talent, but the cooldown reduction alone can allow you to put out a lot of extra damage during longer team fights. At level 7, you're going to go with Barbed Shot, which makes Withering Fire deal 200% bonus damage to minions, mercenaries, and monsters. This helps you very quickly clear waves and also helps you take camps much faster. The bonus damage also helps you very quickly take down objectives like the Immortals on Battlefield of Eternity. When it comes to Sylvanas' heroic, I personally feel like Wailing Arrow is going to be your go-to choice. While mind control can be fun, there is a lot of counterplay, and the silence from the arrow can really swing a teamfight in your favor. At level 13, you're going to go with Windrunner. This allows you to fully recharge your Withering Fire charges whenever you teleport with Haunting Wave. Just to be clear, it is only when you teleport using Haunting Wave. Haunting Wave can also be cast a second time within 5 seconds after teleporting for free. This talent can give you an insane amount of burst damage during teamfights, but it also forces you to use Haunting Wave more aggressively, which means you may not have it to escape if things don't go your way. At level 16, you have a choice to make. Your first option is Cold Embrace. This makes the initial enemy hit by your Shadow Dagger vulnerable, taking 25% more damage from all sources for 2 seconds. This is a great talent to pick up if you really need to take out a high value target. This talent also synergizes very well with Lost Soul, but isn't necessary to get the most out of the talent. Your other option is Evasive Fire. This grants you 10% movement speed for 2 seconds, stacking up to 30% whenever you hit an enemy with Withering Fire. This is a great talent to pick up if you need some extra movement speed to keep a target in your Withering Fire range, or you need to escape. At level 20, you're going to go with Bolt of the Storm. This is a 70-second cooldown that allows you to teleport to a nearby location. Basically, you're picking this up so you can use your Haunting Wave super aggressively and still have an escape. Sylvanas' Withering Fire build is a very strong build that has powerful wave clear, with heavy lane pressure and a strong pushing passive. She has a very powerful heroic that can lock down an enemy team, and has a built-in escape. However, she is susceptible to CCs. Her escape can be a bit predictable, and her Q requires good positioning. Alright, now that we've gone over all of that, let's go over some quick tips for Sylvanas. With good team coordination and aggressive play, you can take some very early structures thanks to Sylvanas' passive. Along those same lines, you can lane alone, however to make the most out of Sylvanas' passive and skill set, it is more beneficial to lane as a group, putting massive pressure in the lane and potentially taking early structures. Just make sure you're still soaking all of the lanes. If the enemy team is spreading out during team fights, then make sure to try and hit their back line with Wailing Arrow's silence. This will give your team the chance to put out unmitigated damage, quickly swinging the team fight their way. And when it comes to early objectives, you can get a bit more out of them by pushing with the objective, however, it isn't always the best option. Sometimes you may actually get more experience and structural pressure by pushing in another lane away from the objective. Just make sure you're still showing up to team fights. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you found this guide helpful. If you have any variations or tips for this build, feel free to share them in the comments below. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, I will catch you all later.